All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you. Going to talk a little bit about Chainlink and Zeus Capital LLC trying to FUD all over it, spreading rumors and information, etc., just so that they can short it. But first, we're talking about Grayscale and how they're bringing crypto ads to U.S. television pretty soon, which should be very good for Bitcoin, because so far I don't really recall any good Bitcoin ads. I think they had the one with the Game of Thrones guy and he was hodling and holding the elevator door, etc. But so far, there really hasn't been that many. However, Bitcoin is being talked about more and more on like Fox Business and various MSNBC business channels and things like that. But this is pretty big. Grayscale, the major crypto asset management firm owned by Digital Currency Group, is launching a national ad campaign in the U.S. It comes at the time of great socio-economic and geopolitical uncertainties, that's the truth, which might be turning people's heads toward financial and monetary alternatives. 2019 had a Grayscale Drop Gold campaign, but 2020 is getting an ad campaign to promote crypto. Are you ready? Asked in a tweet today, Barry Silbert, founder of and CEO of DCG and Grayscale, moving on to announce that a national ad campaign will be starting next week in the USA. Per Silbert, a TV ad will be shown on CNBC, MSNBC, Fox, and Fox Business. We're going to bring crypto to the masses, he added. The only thing that I see that's not that amazing with those four selections, CNBC, MSNBC, Fox Business, I believe those are all cable channels, and cable news doesn't get quite the viewership that like local news does, or the general four major channels that are in the U.S. aside from cable. But beggars can't be choosy. What this ad looks like and what the results it will produce is yet to be seen. What is certain is that an ad promoting crypto assets is arriving to people's homes on major television networks when the world is going through a major health crisis caused by COVID-19 pandemic, which subsequently triggered an economic downturn both on global and local levels, forcing people to look for a safe haven for their assets. Marcus, co-founder and CEO of crypto exchange Luno, is one of the many industry insiders who said that this crisis is actually good for Bitcoin. And so far, I suppose I would have to agree with that, as Bitcoin is currently, I believe, at $12,000. I think it just actually, I just looked at the price a little bit ago, and it was over $12,000. So this is going to be pretty good. Now, Grayscale isn't necessarily, I think I'd actually rather see an ad like about Coinbase. I think Coinbase would be a bit better, as Grayscale, crypto asset management firm, could increase the price quite a bit. At least could get people thinking about Bitcoin overall. I think the major problem with Bitcoin, to people who are watching Fox and Fox Business, is usually it's the slightly older generation. Although now that Fox and CNN and various other news networks are on YouTube, it's sort of a different story these days. But I think one thing that's really critical is just education with Bitcoin. I think there's a vast fundamental misunderstanding of Bitcoin. And I've said this on the channel before, and I'll say it again. I had a neighbor one time who asked me what I do, I tell him, about my life and stuff like that. We were neighbors. He was a good guy. And I told him, I'm into Bitcoin and into trading it and mining various coins, etc. And I tried to explain it to him. And I feel like I'm very good at explaining what Bitcoin is. I've done it once, done it 1,000 times. I will do it 1,000 more times. But he literally wasn't. This is the kind of guy who didn't even have the internet, and he was like, "Oh man, I need to sell some of the stuff." And I'm like, I can make like a Craigslist ad for you for like free, just because I can do it in like 15 minutes. He's like, "Oh man, that'd be so great," and I ended up selling him all kinds of things. Like he had a camper and all this stuff. So he couldn't even use the internet, right? So Bitcoin just blew his mind, and he told me to stop talking about it. He actually literally told me to stop talking about it because it was like making him angry because he couldn't grasp what I'm talking about. People think am I mining these coins? Are they in my computer? Are they just on my computer and I can lose them? Is this just magical made up internet money that anybody can hack or just delete at will? Why do I need magical made up internet money? There's a huge misunderstanding about Bitcoin. And I suppose as newer generations are growing up and getting into it, it will be bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on. Whereas the older generation is typically doesn't really care. Now moving on to Chainlink news. Chainlink going absolutely bonkers right now. Chainlink is going through the roof, and we'll get to the Zeus Capital LLC drama in just a moment. But first, Link's trading volume on Coinbase surpasses that of Bitcoin. Unbelievable that any coin has surpassed the trading volume of Bitcoin. And now this is probably just temporary. I doubt in a week or two the volume will be higher. And now I'm not trying to FUD on the price. The price could continue upwards, but still lose the total volume that it is over Bitcoin. But this is really unprecedented. I think this happens extremely rarely when a coin actually can surpass the total trade volume in 24 hours of Bitcoin. Now, I read another article that stated this actually happened on Binance as well, and I wouldn't be surprised that since it happened on Coinbase and Binance, that it happened on virtually every exchange that is holding Chainlink at the moment. Chainlink's token, driven by the increased popularity of decentralized finance, has surged past Bitcoin, becoming the most traded cryptocurrency of the past 24 hours on Coinbase Pro, the biggest crypto exchange in the US. Link's 24-hour trading volume on Coinbase Pro is 163 million, nearly 70% higher than Bitcoin's trading volume of 96.48 million. However, Link's 24-hour aggregate global volume of 3.13 billion still amounts to just 17% of Bitcoin's global overall volume of 17.3 billion. So, I guess overall, not quite what Bitcoin is, but on a couple exchanges, at least today and probably yesterday, or at least within the past 24 hours in general, on a few exchanges has definitely surpassed Bitcoin just because of the explosion in price and the FOMO that it's bringing in. So moving on here to some additional Chainlink news. Chainlink price jumped more than 45% in 48 hours and 440% in just 12 months. The surge saw Chainlink's market capitalization shooting to 5.12 billion, which makes it the sixth most capitalized token, just ahead of Cardano. And at the time of writing, Chainlink is only top 10 token with a double-digit gain of 23% in the last 24 hours. Supporters of the project believe it will reach $20 by the end of August. The token's price meteoric rise is a big win and an endorsement for Chainlink project, which is to contend with avertments that the project is overhyped. At the same time, Chainlink's rise is also a crushing reverse for Zeus Capital LLP, which still insists that the price will go to zero. Which I don't know why anybody even says that anymore. I mean, what if they mean like a proverbial zero where it's just down to just a few pennies or something like that? Because basically nothing can. It's really hard to go to actual zero. I mean, considering that tokens can go negative 1 cent. That's just a weird thing to say. Zeus Capital LLP is believed to have opened a short position on the token with hopes to cash in if the price drops. Meanwhile, Zeus Capital's LLP's aspirations prompted Chainlink supporters to start a campaign aimed at liquidating the former's position. According to statements attributed to Sentiment, a cryptocurrency analytics firm, this is the one likely reason for the current bullish sentiment on the token. Still, Sentiment notes that some crypto investors are taking long positions because they are confident of Chainlink's prospects. Furthermore, a tweet by Sentiment states that not only has the price of Chainlink reached an all-time high, but daily active addresses increased as well. Meanwhile, Zeus Capital LLP has made itself a nemesis of Chainlink, has produced dossiers that allegedly spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt, good old FUD, about the Chainlink project. In its latest installment, released August 5th, Zeus Capital LLP is targeting Chainlink supporters. On August 8th, a tweet that seemingly tries to keep its campaign alive, the asset manager company insinuates that U.S. regulators might now be interested in the case. All set, now wait till SEC enforcement goes after smart contract as they performed on an unregistered offering in 2017, and both co-founders are U.S. citizens who sold to U.S. investors. Link is going to zero. Now that's pretty funny, but if true, it can result in some problems. Now, is that going to happen tomorrow? Is that going to happen down the line? Who knows? I can't really say for sure. But if that's true, and they did do like an ICO, I'm not sure if Chainlink did an ICO, but an unregistered offering, is sort of a synonymous term, I suppose, in 2017, and they're both U.S. citizens. Then yeah, that could be a bit of a problem. While it remains unclear of how long Chainlink's bull run or the controversy will last, crypto investors continue to show interest as evidenced by daily volume, which has surpassed 1.6 billion. And now looking at the charts, we can see that just in a few days we have increased many dollars in Chainlink, and it looks like some whales are really getting in on the action. And that makes me a little nervous because if we scroll out a little bit, I mean, this is just 7 days, but if you scroll out, it's a pretty similar, really steady increase, I suppose I was looking for the word, an organic increase in the price of Chainlink. Now, Chainlink has had some very FOMO news. It's had nothing but good news, and it sort of has a cult following to it for, a good while now, of that Chainlink's going to go through the roof, Chainlink's going to go through the roof. And now I know a lot of coins have that, but Chainlink, is really in particular about, with their community, and we've had this organic growth, and it's been similar like this. I'm only on the 7-day, but even if I pulled it out to 3 months or something like that, you'd see this really similar growth. And but it wasn't until just what are we looking at here? That's the 9th now, so the 8th, that we've had this explosion. And I wonder if that's just one person or just a group of people buying in like a whale, because we're at just like $10, nearly 11, and then just this explosion, these walls. And that always makes me fear, just because whenever you see a wall like that going straight up, days later, it could be days later, there's going to be a wall going down, straight down, of pretty much equal size of them selling later, after it's already gone up a dollar, a few dollars or something like that, and then selling and taking their profit. However, we are seeing sort of a dip right now in the price of Chainlink. We were up to like 14.30, 14.40 earlier in the day. It might have even reached like 14.50 on some exchanges, and now we're already back down to like $13.14. So it's hard to say where it's going to go, and once you get all the way up here like this, then there's a lot of uncertainty. Then it's like, well, if I buy in right now and it dips, I'm clearly at a big loss. So it's hard to say, and I did say that. I actually said this in a few videos back, talking about Chainlink, and I think it was at $9 or something, and I was like, buying in right now is sort of a risk. I mean, it's up so much in price that eventually somebody's going to start selling off, and that steam, everyone's going to see that price going down, and that buying steam is going to go out. However, I was certainly wrong on that, and it looks like a whale came along and breathed even more life into Chainlink than it already had. But I'm just wondering, where is the top? And I read in the article a little earlier that some people are thinking $20 by the end of August, and that could be at this rate. But this one is a really hard one to tell. Chainlink is very hard read for me at the moment. But coming out with like a little refresh there, 1324, coming back just a little bit. So it's hard to say. But Bitcoin is indeed over 12,000. Let's actually take a look at Bitcoin there. I want to take a look at the little 7-day here. And it looks like we got some pretty whalish purchase there. Bringing it up for $500 there. A few hundred. So that looks like a whale purchase. And as soon as Bitcoin goes up another few hundred, I would imagine a few days, usually no more than a week, you'll see that drop by about $300 or so as that person sells off. And I always like to say that it's a whale, because when you see these big lines like that, it's not like everybody came together all at once. It was like, oh yeah, we'll just buy Bitcoin right now. This is sort of like an everybody came at once and started to buy Bitcoin. Like this like slow movement upwards. That's more organic. And then like when you see these lines that are just like this, it's not like everybody in the world just called each other all at once. So it was like, yeah, let's put in $50 a pop, and we'll pump it by millions of dollars with their weird coordination. So it's usually just one person, and they wait for it to go up another few $100 and then sell, and it's a real quick, easy buy. But who knows? Just as much as a risk for them as it is for us, I suppose. But that's all I have for you guys today. Market looking real great. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and as usual, I'll see you guys next time.